Okay, here we go.
Here we are,
Screen Heat Miami,
back with another one.
a big one. The Emmys.
That's right. That's right.
Wow, a lot of surprises in these Emmys, in these hills. A lot of
Yeah.
surprises up in these hills,
There certainly were, my
the
friend.
Hollywood hills.
There you go. But I think we should do our shout out uh,
Yes,
to our friends and sponsors out there.
that's right. Need to get a shout out to Cinevision,
Yes, and Kijik Multimedia.
Miami Medium Film Market that just
And
popped off.
oh yeah, we got to do a wrap up of that. But you have some great content that we will be sharing soon, recorded live at the last MMFM,
That's right. We'll share that.
which will be a lot of fun. And then, of course, Gamakol, which was the host
La 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 la
venue,
la 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 la.
the host venue of the MMFM this year, which was a lot of fun.
Yes, 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 yes. So, with that being said, we have to get down to brass tacks. I'm Kevin Sharpley.
I'm JL Martinez.
Screen heat, some industry heat, some Emmy heat.
Yes.
A lot of stuff popping off in the Emmys, but we can start it off with big surprises.
Yeah. So it
Well,
was the
maybe no
seventh.
surprise to us. We knew the studio, which is a show we both love.
Right. Yeah, there was certain favorites heading in that had a lot of strong sort of chances. Like if you were a betting person, you would say, yeah, these guys have the odds to win a lot of awards, certain shows and nominees. So definitely the 77th Emmy Awards, which were last coming up, had a lot of surprises, but also really kind of validated some of the favorites, like the studio, for example.
12, I want to say. They won 12?
Yeah, 12, which is the single season record, which beat The Bear last year. So, and then of course, Seth Rogen, who won lead actor. He also had one for directing and writing, which he shared with his creative partner, Evan Goldberg, as well.
He had so many Emmys, man. He was tripping over Emmys.
Yes, he was full of Emmys. He could barely carry those to the after parties. I'm sure he needed assistance or some publicist that was running around with his Emmys.
I think
Um,
maybe it was like the end of the studio, like the awards thing, like that one episode. But
yeah, maybe they filmed some of it. Who knows? It could pop up and
pop up in next season for sure. They're gonna have a next season and a next season after winning all those Emmys.
yes, yes, they definitely. I think a lot of buzz around that show, and especially after all these Emmy wins, I'm sure it's going to come back for at least two, maybe a couple more seasons for sure.
Funny show, man. Funny show.
It
So,
is.
um, a show that I thought was gonna win more awards didn't, but it did win a couple of awards. The Penguin.
Yeah, yeah, but it's won before, right? It's always seen as one of those big prestige kind of shows, even though it's again, I don't know if we ever talked about the fact that because it's based on this sort of comic book IP,
We did talk about that.
yeah, that kind of may,
It still breaks the mold, though. It breaks
it
the
does.
mold because
Yeah,
based on a comic IP, it doesn't do comic IPs don't do this kind of award-winning tour. And
correct.
so it's pretty cool. Kristen Milioti, she won for Best Lead Actress. So
Yes,
in a limited or anthology series. So that was
yes,
pretty awesome.
yes.
Severance had a huge one. Tramell Tillman, first black actor, kind of hard to believe, but first black actor to win in his category, which is um, supporting actor in a limited or anthology series.
Yeah.
So that's pretty big. Um, adolescent, adolescence,
Yes.
huge, huge. I mean, Stephen Graham won. Um, what did they win? Like 5 Emmys, 4 or 5 Emmys. I love Stephen Graham.
Yeah.
He came on my radar uh, back in the Steve Buscemi show, Boardwalk Empire.
There was also the host Nate Bargatze, who's first time hosting the Emmys, which I didn't know. You knew he was a huge stand up comic and was top money making comic, but was getting his sort of big TV hosting debut. He had some interesting reviews. There was one shtick that they had the whole night, which had to do with how long the acceptance speech would be, and based on that, the Boys and Girls Club would get more or less of a starting donation of $100,000 that Nate said was coming from him, and they kind of played around with that pretty much the whole time, which also they thought was funny moments. Maybe it got a little long in the tooth, but it did kind of keep the overall award ceremony under 3 hours, which I think was the main point of that particular running gag.
Yeah, he kept it moving.
Mhm.
Um, some sticks funnier than others, but I think that he did a good job. I think he was more like, the quarterback that they get the lead and then they kind of manage the game.
Yeah,
No breakaway. I don't really see any breakaway moments.
yeah,
But best writing. So Stephen Graham, I didn't know that he was a co-writer,
yeah,
co-creator of that particular show. And then the youngest winner ever came from Adolescent. I mean, that kid really, really did work.
yes,
So I'm telling you, this is a show that if you've not seen it, make sure you have something, whatever it is, some wine, scotch. I
yeah.
don't know what Xanax,
Xannies,
whatever
yeah,
it is. Um, before you watch every episode of this show, it will take you there.
yeah,
So, I was happy to see that one win. I also watch Hacks, Gene Smart winning 4 times. This is her fourth win for that show.
yes,
So, I mean, that's pretty incredible. Like,
yes,
um, The Late Show, which is now going off the air, Stephen Colbert, he got his win. Um, The Bear, I've been watching that every season. It was nominated, heavily nominated, didn't win anything. So, I mean, that's saying something. I mean, like, wow.
yeah,
After all this time, the last season, I guess it didn't have that kind of bigness of the other seasons, but
yeah,
nominated quite a bit nonetheless. Variety
yeah,
special, the 50th anniversary special of Saturday Night Live, which was really, really incredible. So, big on that. I also watched Slow Horses. Slow Horses snagged a couple. So
yeah,
overall, um, I don't think everyone expected the studio to win as much. I did expect it to win something.
right,
Um, Another favorite of mine, Andor. I thought Andor was going to win more, but Andor snagged 2 awards. So
yeah,
there are shows that I was pretty sure were going to win. Didn't expect the sweep of the studio, but I love the show, so I'm happy overall, and I feel that the winners, the shows that won, were well deserved. I don't think
yeah.
that there is any show where people are like, "How did that win?" Oh my goodness, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, you're totally right. And in terms of how that did, who the favorites were versus who actually won. So it was, kind of mixed bag. Some surprises, some favorites. Again, heavy hitters just coming in and cleaning house, just like what the studio did. But they had a great campaign, a lot of industry buzz, and obviously the shows about the industry, I think, just naturally draw more attention from the folks who are voting on this, which are also from the industry. So could be something to that as well. But they
Yeah.
did a good job. And Apple TV, obviously they got some marketing dollars there. So
Yeah, I mean, their budget
yes.
for shows is like a micro blip in their overall
Yeah.
profits,
It's just a little micro, yeah, budget
but
uh blimp.
it is pushing everything,
Yes.
every product that they have. We do have to give a shout out to the Pit. I haven't seen the Pit yet. I haven't
Right.
seen the Pit yet, so for sure I'm going to have to check it out. I can only see so many shows at one time,
Right.
so this is really pushing me to see the Pit because the Pit did really, really well.
Yeah.
We do have some other news, and this is big industry news. There's a change in the Screen Actors Guild, of which I'm a member. So SAG-AFTRA, there's a big change in SAG-AFTRA. I don't know. What does that change? there,
So
JL?
Sean Astin, who many know as a longtime actor, star of the Lord of the Rings franchise, he won the national election for SAG, which consists of 160,000 members. So he'll be taking over for previous President Fran Drescher, who took them through a very, what Dailies calls a high stakes negotiation with the studios. And so he's taking the reins now. Michelle Hurd will be the secretary treasurer. What was interesting about it is that only apparently 17% of members cast ballots, which is a drop from 26% when Fran first won back in 2021. So it looks like they didn't want a confrontational thing. They wanted to embrace more collaboration going into the negotiations next year. So Astin did serve on the negotiating committee during the 23 strikes. So I think they thought that he could be a good negotiator, maybe moving forward the next round of, speaking of the studio negotiation, when that comes back around next year.
If all else fails, he could use the ring.
Yeah, you can always, feel safe. Just use the ring. See if you can
But
work some magic.
he comes from a lineage, though. His mother, Patty Duke, who's an actress as well, she
Right.
was the SAG president
Yeah.
back in her day.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I guess he might already have some
No.
some knowledge, some know-how.
Entertainment politics is in his blood, I guess. So there you go.
Yeah, who would have known?
Yeah.
Who would have known? We have a connection to Lord of the Rings.
How's that?
Mr. Dean Lyon,
Right.
our good friend and buddy, partner
Yeah.
Dean Lyon, who's visual effects
Yes.
supervisor on all three Lord of the Rings.
Yes, he's incredible. You've probably heard him speak at a couple of our earlier MMFMs, and you moderated a couple of those sessions with Dean, where he kind of takes you a peek under the hood of how he makes that movie magic happen.
Yes, yes. So we'll put a little bit of Dean Lyon on Screen
Yes,
Heat Miami.
of course.
Um, and then film development news.
Yes, we're gonna get animated with this one.
I love getting animated. We just
Yes,
had an incredible animation panel for the Miami Media and Film Market. So we'll put some of that. You can see on the socials, and we'll put a little bit on the website.
right.
But one of the big things that I said when I opened up the moderation for the panel is animation is king. As
Animation is
big as
king.
Netflix is, and
Right.
that's another thing about the Emmys, the sweep of the streamers. So the streamers really swept the Emmys.
Right.
Netflix, which is the biggest boy on the block, their biggest movie ever, K-pop Demon Hunters,
Yeah.
an
Was it?
animated movie that sparked 3 number one musical hits.
Yeah, it did. It was huge on the music side. Absolutely. So
So animation,
it's big.
animation is it.
And it looks like they're going back to the IP well with Nintendo and Illumination partnering up for a sequel, which no surprise, the first one made a lot of money. Super Mario Brothers movie is moving forward called the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which will already hit screens April 3rd of 2026. So it's coming quick. Next spring already, they're coming out with a new one. There's a small teaser out already, but it looks like they fast-tracked that particular sequel over at Illumination and with Nintendo, obviously, Universal. So good stuff.
Yeah, the first one did really well. It's number 18 in terms of all-time earners
Yes.
for movies.
Huge.
Number 18. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is huge. So
Yeah.
of course we were going to get the sequel. We just didn't know we were going to get it this fast, which is great. I have a 5-year-old, so there never
Yeah.
is enough content. Never,
No.
never enough movies.
Yeah. No, and especially that this generation, which is interesting. I saw a little sort of a side story on Generation Alpha, which is anybody that's 12 years old or under. They call it the iPad generation. And you'd think, yeah, they're always consuming content on screens, right? But what's interesting about them is if there's a movie that's interesting, they are willing to go to the theaters and watch the movies on the big screen and have this communal experience, as opposed to just watching stuff on their iPads or screens at home, which is kind of interesting. That Generation Alpha is really a big movie going audience, especially with their known IP. We saw Minecraft did really well this year. Obviously, Super Mario. So the video game IPs seem to be doing very well with that particular demo, for sure.
Yeah, and they brought back K-pop Demon Hunters. They did a sing along, and so that movie made $12.5 million in the first weekend.
Wow.
The sing along, and it really kept going. By
Yeah.
the second weekend, 25 million, so just about doubled.
Yeah.
So yeah, the kids are coming out. That's for sure.
They are
It's
coming
good.
out.
We love it. We love to hear it. Keep our theaters popping.
Yes, my three little ones contribute to that. So definitely big potential there.
Yeah. So, with that being said, our industry heat special, Emmy special, this concludes this industry heat. My name is Kevin Sharpley.
I'm JL Martinez.
This is Screen Heat Miami, and we will hear you
And see you
on the next one.
Dale.